What is up, YouTube? I'm back with another video for you, and today I'm going to be the new Jordan Peterson because I don't know what happened to Jordan Peterson. I don't know. I think he's in eternal rehab now or something like that. He is dealing with some stuff, I guess, again. So he's gone and he can't tell you to clean your room anymore. So now I'm going to be the new Jordan Peterson, at least for this video, because I want to discuss the importance of not living like a slob and how it's actually life-changing if you can get your life together in such a way where you actually clean your room, as Mr. Peterson would famously say. Godspeed to him, best of luck to him. I hope things are good, because he did really kind of change the whole dynamic in terms of like the men's self-help, the men's being strong, sort of breaking away from like the blue pill messaging, breaking away from like just being like weak and sort of like wallowing in your own misery. He did play a big part in that. However, you consumed his content. He wrote that book, 12 Rules for Life. It was okay. I got, a couple chapters in, the first chapter about how like the big alpha male lobster just smashes everything, takes what he wants. He crushes the little weak lobster, takes the little lobster's girls, all that shit. And some good messages in there, but I think he's almost the most famous for cleaning your room. So yeah, in this video I just want to go over real quick the importance of not living like a slob, because for a long period of time I have been guilty of this. I've been guilty of living like a slob, and I guess maybe, I don't know, it comes back to like my childhood or something. I was fortunate enough, I guess, to I grew up with my grandparents for the most part, and I don't know why he would do this. I don't know why. It was something, that I wish he didn't do, but my grandfather would always like clean my room for me. And I know that sounds kind of lame, but that's just like what he would do. I would live my life. I would live my life like a slob. I would never think about cleaning up after myself, and I would just kind of live my life, sit in my room, make a bunch of a mess. Just, it would only take me like a day or two to just like wreck the place, and then he would get pissed off, and he would, I don't know, he would instead of just kind of like letting me figure it out, he would get pissed off, and then he would like come in and like clean it while I'm in school. And then I would come back and I'd be like, oh great, it's good to go. And then he would just kind of be like a little bit like resentful towards me. So I don't know. He's older. He's the adult in this situation. He probably should have came up with like a better way to kind of address this. He probably should have just let me live in the slop, and maybe I would have figured it out. Because eventually now, years and years later, that's what I'm figuring out, is that it's you don't want to live like a slop. You really, really don't. I'm thinking back, Spider-Man is very big right now because of this new movie, Brand New Day, the new Tom Holland movie. So, you go on X, you go on wherever, and it's like all these clips of Spider-Man. But the one thing that stands out to me that people are not posting is like there's this clip in Spider-Man 1 where they come into his room and it's just like a total mess. And then Aunt May is like, oh yeah, he's just like, this is just how geniuses live. And like, they live in a mess because their brain is just thinking about other stuff. So that's just how they are and stuff. And I feel like I actually kind of internalized that for like years and years, where I was like, well, this is just what geniuses do. This is just what like cool people do, is they don't give a shit about their living space. They just kind of are cool with just being messy. And the older you get, the more you kind of try to really take a good look at things for yourself and try to really come up with your own views on what works and what doesn't work, instead of taking it from other people or podcasts or movies that sort of maybe give you these ideas that like don't serve you, eventually you want to get to the point where you're coming up with like your own views on what works for you, regardless of what you've been told. And what I've realized for me is that it really doesn't serve me to live in a messy environment. It actually bothers me like quite a bit. It actually like really kind of like lowers my vibration, or however you want to say it. It like it makes me feel like a lot more of a subhuman. And so a couple of weeks ago, I started this like deep cleaning process. I was deep cleaning the whole bomb shelter. I was literally like washing the walls and getting every little stain off. And I got maybe like 75% through it. And then I kind of stopped. And then I remember feeling like really let down, sort of, that I got that far and I did a lot of important stuff. I got a lot of like mess out of there. And then I was like, okay, I want to like pull these cushions out over here, and I want to like get like the little grime off the walls behind the cushions and like the little fuzz that's underneath. I wanted to do that. I just remembered like, oh, this part is going to kind of suck. And I kind of like quit at that part. And then I sort of fell back into the messiness. I was like, I just kind of quit there. And I had this whole vision for the way it's set up now, which I guess I can kind of like move this over and show you, where it's like, like I'd have things set up the way they're set up now, which is pretty sweet, right? Like I got a new little keyboard and mouse. I used to have like more of this like gaming keyboard and stuff, but it's just like, it's honestly just like nicer in a way to just get like a nice wireless little chill keyboard and mouse setup. I'm not really like, I don't really need like a gamer mouse right now. And I got these speakers and stuff over here. So I had this vision where I was like, I'm gonna get this chair, like the one that I'm sitting in now, and I'm gonna set up my computer good, and I'm gonna like actually like make the most of this space, and I'm gonna live in here. And I got like 75% there, and then I kind of came up to the part where I would need to like clean like underneath these cushions and stuff, and like kind of like clean on the floor here. I don't know how well you can see it in the video. And it was just like a mess, and I'm like, I just stopped early. And then I fell back into like total mess. And it gets bad. When it gets bad for me, it gets bad, man. There's just like dirt all over the floor, the carpet, the rug, whatever I got going on now. I didn't have the rug at that point, but there was like Zen nicotine pouches. Like I would just like be in bed, and I would take the nicotine pouch out and I'd just like throw it on the floor and shit. And just dishes in the sink, like as bad as you could pretty much imagine, like water bottles and just gross, like just stuff everywhere. And you eventually kind of come to this conclusion that like, this is not the way you want to live. This is not the way I want to live. I don't really care what Spider-Man from 2003 or 4 told me. I don't operate good in this environment. And so I've been prioritizing other things besides just like working out and stuff. I've kind of taken a break from like just prioritizing like working out above everything. And I was like, okay, I'm going to finish this deep cleaning, whatever it takes. So eventually I got under there, cleaned the cushions, cleaned everything, cleaned the floors. I was like on my back, like scrubbing parts of this that like you would never even see. It's just like for my own mental, like just knowing everything within my reach has been cleaned up. And my vision for this was that it would give me like more peace of mind. It would make me kind of enjoy being in here. It would free up like mental space for me, because I wouldn't be looking around and being like, oh, this needs to get done. This needs to get, I feel like a subhuman. I'm living in garbage. So I did it. Finally, I broke down. I did it. And my theory, which is usually what happens, it was proven correct. I'm like completely living better now. I just feel like way more like at ease mentally. I actually feel like I like want to be in here. With the chair, I got the chair, it's comfortable. I got these little speakers set up, and I'm like I can watch like YouTube videos, or I can play some, games or something, and I can actually like sit back and be comfortable in here and enjoy myself. And it's like completely changed my life, honestly, for the better, just in this last week, like getting things cleaned up and stuff. So when we go back to Jordan Peterson, and we go back to this philosophy of like cleaning your room and stuff, it is honestly super, super important. He was honestly really onto something there, believe it or not. It's just, it's sort of, if you can get through that, if you can just like sort of prioritize that for however long it takes, because it could be like a few day project, honestly. Like if it's not that bad, maybe you just got to pick up some stuff. Maybe you just got to like wipe off some stuff, whatever. But for me, and maybe for a lot of you guys, it's going to be maybe like a multiple day project where you're going to be working for a couple hours. You're going to get everything really nice and straightened up, and you're going to go through like a lot of old stuff, and you're going to be kind of like moving things from one area to the other. And then when you move it back, you kind of find some things where you're like, okay, I could like throw this away, move this, rearrange this. And it's going to take probably a little bit to really do it right. But if you can like break down and prioritize that, you'll be kind of changing your environment. You're almost like evolving as a person, because you're getting rid of like these old sort of, you're changing the paradigm. You're getting rid of like this old stuff that like reminds you of the old you in a way. You're like, oh yeah, there's that like dirty paper towel from whatever I used that for like a week ago. It just like, it kind of like reminds you of the old you, the you that you're not like proud of, and it keeps you stuck in that paradigm. And it removes something from you where like it was always kind of hanging over me, like I need to do that. But once that was done, it like removes that task from your quest log, or whatever you want to call it, from your taskbar. And then it kind of leaves you with this decision where you're like, okay, everything's good, everything's kind of like cleaned up. And now it leaves you with this choice where you're like, I have like more free time now. Like that thing is done. What do I want to do next? Like, and you can either, at this point, you can kind of like fall back into your old ways. You can start to like fall back into the old patterns. You can start making a mess again. You can leave stuff in the sink again. You can, mess things up again, or you can decide like, I'm going to keep it this way. That's out of the way. Now, what is like the next thing I want to kind of move on to? And that sort of was the catalyst for me almost coming back to making these videos again. Was, it's like, okay, I want to start to like build on this positivity and like start to figure out like, what is the next positive thing I can do? Because I would say getting the room cleaned up, as Jordan Peterson would say, it was like a really positive thing. So you do that and you're like, what is the next positive thing I can do? Can I clean my car? Can I like try to find a way to like make some more money somehow? Can I work a little bit extra? Like, what is the next positive thing I can do? And when you remove the filth that you're living in, it allows your brain to like actually work and start to like come up with these scenarios where like, how can I build on this? So it's really important. I would say do it. Like, I would say, if you are struggling, if you're like one of these people that's like, where do I go in life? What am I doing with my life? Maybe just try to prioritize like small things like that, like get your laundry done, organize your spot, really do a good job. Don't just like pick up, people want to really half-ass everything. Don't just like pick up a couple things and call it done. Like, go and like get some like cleaning product, go and get these guys some paper towel, and just like get every little corner and spider web and every little thing, and like really like change your whole environment, and you'll be living in a better paradigm for sure. So what else? Well, I wrote a couple bullet points down about this. Yeah, it just gets you, it gets your mind focused on like prioritizing like this kind of cleanup and like keeping things fresh, keeping things nice. And just even like little random things, like where I wake up and it's like, okay, I could either like doom scroll, or, I could, like wipe off the countertop, and I could go like, oh, I'm out of paper towel. Let me go like, actually get in my car and go out into society and just, I don't know, buy some more paper towel. And like, you know, you see, you get out there, you get a little sun on you. You get you see some other people driving around. Maybe you see some like hot girls jogging around or something. You go to the dollar store. You check out the crackheads. What are the crackheads doing at the dollar store? Okay, cool. He's buying an energy drink. Okay, oh, okay. The cashier is kind of like, she's giving me like a nice look. That's nice. You start to just like become more of a human being, at least in my experience. And it just keeps you occupied. It's so much better than doom scrolling. I'm probably gonna make a full video or something of how I've kind of given up on like X.com, because I was using that as like my main. You know how people say like, what's your scroll? Like, what's your main scroll? It's like the modern day like cigarettes. It's like, instead of like Marlboros or Newports or American Spirits, it's like, do you do X or do you do Instagram or do you do this thing? X was like my main like scroll of choice, but I'm gonna make like a whole video on that. But like, it's just it leaves me feeling so gross. It is a lot like cigarettes or something, in a way, where it's like you turn it on, you scroll for a little bit, you get this like little high, you get this little like, like, oh yeah, I'm seeing what's going on in the world. And sometimes it is kind of interesting to be like, okay, this little notable thing happened, or this little like, I don't know, they saw a freaking alien or something. Like, you see these little cool things here and there, but it never really seems to serve me that well. It always is like maybe one or two things that really don't do anything for you. Like, keeping up with the news really does not do anything for you. It almost just makes you more neurotic. And it'll be a couple maybe decent things that I'll see on X, and then it'll just become like, here's this cat video I've seen again. Oh, here's this video of this guy who's like, he's got a really good technique of like how he hammers some landscaping stuff. Oh, what else happened? It's like, the thing about X too is it just like, it'll show you the same videos that you've seen like a million times. And I don't really want to go off on too much of a tangent, but it's like, you'll start to see that people just like repost the same stuff, like even stuff that's been posted like a year ago. You'll see these same type of videos where it's like, he didn't pay for my landscaping service, so what did I do? And it's just like these like landscapers like destroying the work that they did or whatever to like get back at the people that didn't pay them. And it's like, okay, that was cool when I first saw that like 2 years ago. I've seen that shit like 15 times since then. So it's like, what is this really doing for me? At some point in my life, I got by without knowing all this stuff, or without seeing all this stuff. And I remember like, I was kind of happier without it. I would focus on other things. I'd like read a book, I'd play a video game, watch a movie, have some friends over, go out and do it. Was like better, man. Life was just better without all this doom scrolling shit. And I'm just trying to get away from that. It's not doing anything for me. It really is like an addiction. You really do get so addicted to that, and you're just like sucking up all these videos and all this information, and you think that it's like doing something for you. It can kind of like trick you into thinking that it's doing something for you, because it's like, oh, I'm staying up to date with politics. It's like, it's just ruining your life, man. So that's what I would say. Clean up your room. You'll become like a new person. You'll find all these old things that you can get rid of. You'll be able to like rearrange things. You have a better idea of like how you want things set up, and life just gets so much better for you. So what is that? What else is there? I don't know. I want to teach you how to do it real quick. I'm going to give you the number one technique of how to clean your room is to basically simply not be afraid of completely spamming paper towels. I don't know why, but we've come from this weird like mindset, this weird I don't know, Jewish like hoarding mindset. Like some people's parents, it's like, don't use all the paper towels, don't use all the paper towels. No, use all the paper towels. Buy like 5 rolls of these things and just like spam the hell out of the paper towels, because it's like, You're not going to destroy the world. You're not going to destroy the environment. It's kind of like women, right? The paper towels, the plastic, all the stuff, it's all going. Just like your girlfriend is going, your wife is going, they're all going. All this stuff is going regardless. It's going to the landfill, so just let it serve you. Buy a bunch of paper towel and just like spam the hell out of it. Buy paper towel, buy some Lysol or Fabuloso or whatever, and you just get to work. First, you throw some water on the paper towel, some hot water or like warm water. You wipe all the like grime off, and then you like spray the Lysol. You hit it again. You wipe it off. You throw all that paper towel right in the trash, and then you get dry paper towel, and then you come back over. You dry it off, and you just do that for like everywhere, and you just like go through like 5 rolls of paper towel, and by the time you get through the 5th roll, you're gonna be like maybe looking a little bit better. Maybe get some trash bags or something. Just get ready to like throw a bunch of stuff out that you don't want. And yeah, that's mostly it, man. It's gonna change your life. It frees up so much mental friction when you can keep your your place looking good. Say that like it's actually like a really really crappy thing when you're like running out of laundry, or it's like there's something you're trying to find but you can't find it because everything's so disorganized. When you're organized, it's like generally like you can kind of see everything around you, and you're like, okay, where is this thing? Like you can only be in a couple places. Whereas like when stuff is messy, when stuff is totally like in disarray, um you're able to find it quicker, and it just like reduces the mental friction so much. Or say you want to go to the gym or you want to do something, you're just like, boom, I got my clothes right here. I got the workout shirt here, shoes here, socks there, underwear there, boom, got it, put it in the gym bag. We're going to the gym. Easy. And yeah, I kind of think this stuff should be like prioritized higher than what maybe we've been told it should be. Just like keeping things fresh, keeping things nice. It should be prioritized like higher. Maybe that's one of the first things you do when you wake up, or maybe something you do before you go to bed. It's kind of nice in the morning is to just be like, okay, I need to like put this laundry away. Maybe I need to do some laundry. I got to wipe this stuff down. It's kind of like you think it's like boring or it doesn't matter, but it's like if you can like take that from like a low priority thing and put it like higher onto your priorities of like top 3, top 4, it becomes like your life gets so much better. And that's how I feel. At least it makes my life better. It makes me feel just like more of a person. And then it might take a couple times too. You might do this, you fall back to your old ways, and then you do it again, and then like kind of like the pain of doing it again, it makes you kind of think more like, I want to keep things nicer again. And it might take you like a couple times, but you start to form these new habits. And especially when you've got things like nice and tidy and looking good, you'll notice these habits you do more, where it's like you take off your socks and you just kind of like throw them on your desk, and then you're kind of like, wait a minute, that's like an old habit. That's like the shit that got me here in the first place. So then you're like, all right, why don't I just put this in like the laundry hamper? Or like you finish eating and there's like crumbs and stuff on the kitchen sink, and like maybe the old you would just like ignore it and go like sit down and just like be like a slob on your desk. But then you're kind of like, wait a minute, this is gonna like lead me back to that old thing eventually. So then you're just like, why don't I, okay, I just finished eating, why don't I just clean up now? Like that becomes like a part of like the cooking process. It's like you get the stuff out, you cook the food, you eat, you enjoy it, and then when you're done, you're spending just like a little bit of time getting everything back to baseline. And then it takes a while to like form a new habit, right? But if you can kind of stick with that, you'll start to become like that new person. And all these little habits, they add up a lot. All these little like subhuman habits you have. You get some grease on your fingers and you just like wipe it off on your clothes. That stuff all starts to add up, and then eventually you're walking out in public. You want to like talk to a girl, or you want to be like social or something. And you kind of realize you got like some like weird stains and shit on your clothes, and you're like, wait, actually, all these little bad habits I have kind of like add up, and they come back to screw me later. And so you want to get away from that stuff, and yeah, you just feel like a better person. Like, I don't know, it's maybe this is like a neurotic kind of video. Like, oh, am I gonna watch a whole video of this guy talking about cleaning his room? But I like to get like autistic with it. I like to really explore like why this stuff is important. And it just makes you feel better. It's like, you know, it's good to go. You know, you got something to come back to. Maybe you do meet like a girl or something, and you're subconsciously, maybe you're like a little more flirty because you know, like, if I bring this chick back, it's going to be looking good in here. Like, if I bring this girl back, I'm not going to be like embarrassed by like, oh, sorry, let me like sweep the freaking roaches and the Zen packs out real quick. Like, you don't have to be thinking like that. It's like when you're living like such a total slob, it's like you're kind of like hiding something. Like, you're like, I don't want people to see my crack den that I'm living in. And yeah, it totally does away with all that stuff. So get some paper towel, get some cleaning stuff, spam these, use a bunch of these, get your room cleaned up, and then you'll have a nice environment where you can just kind of sit in there and be comfortable and be proud of yourself. And then you can like hear your own thoughts better, and you can start to be like, okay, what is the next thing? Like, what is the next positive step we can start to take to like clean up this life? Because that's really what it's about. It's about like cleaning up your mind, cleaning up your life. And yeah, so clean your room, guys. That's going to be the video for today. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I will talk to you very soon again. Bye bye.